Hello everyone. Game chat 1 minute. Okay, so I apologise that the stream is a bit late. We've already got some cars on track, but thankfully, oh damn it. Thankfully, no cars have yet to set their lap times. So, right, let me just get some stuff set up, and we'll be good to go. We have got a car on a flying lap. Let's get a look at Glizzy. Yep, let's watch Glizzy on his flying lap while I just sort out these settings. Okay. I believe it. Let me try and figure out which is the front running car. I believe... it was Glizzy. My apologies. So, Glizzy set the benchmark time with the 1:15, just shy of the 1:14s. That is your benchmark for the start of the session. Grace sets her starting time as a 1:17, and Glizzy's out already. He set his lap time and he's out. Let's try and figure out. Yeah, I'm cycling through a lot here. Oh, I can't get to the right McLaren. Oh dear, it looks like he's just spun on the exit of first chicane. So that is Glizzy out of qualifying. At least he's got a lap time, and it's not a terrible lap time after seeing what after seeing some of the other lap times getting put on the boards. It's not too bad. Okay, so oh dear. Oh, and our new driver for today, TTV Adam, is also out. There he is on the final corner, if you'd like to call it that. It's kind of a sweeping right-hander onto the finish straight, so whether you'd class that as a corner is a bit of a different story, really. Let's see if we can find a driver on a flying lap. And Tunatastic, our race winner for last week, is on his flying lap. He's set the fastest set to 1. Into the final few corners now of Ravazzi, and onto the final straight he goes. He's going to want to dip his right tyre onto off of the track even. Oh, and Glizzy has set a blistering lap time before he's taking himself out, so Glizzy could be doing alright here. I'm sure he's proud of himself and crying at the same time, but let's see. Razex, is he going for another flying lap here as he goes towards the Tamburello chicane? It seems to be a flyer. He's dipped his left front tyre onto the grass. It's caused him a little bit of sliding. Traction looks very low. Oh, and he's dipped it in the gravel. That's going to lose him some big time, and it seems to be. Yeah, I think he's abandoned that. Yep, that lap's been abandoned by Razex. Let's see if Callum's on a flying lap. He is. In to Piratella. and into the series of corners of Aqua Minerale. And the very anti-altar. Let's see how fast Callum's managed to get himself around this 4.9 km circuit. What's he done it in? Oh, and it doesn't seem to be an improvement. I think so anyway, unless I just missed him across the line. I don't think he was at 5th place when I last looked anyway, so... Okay, so this is Jacob on his flying lap into Tosa. Fastest sector 1 for Jacob in the McLaren. I believe this is his first race back for a good while. So, a very good turnout today as well, especially for a new season. We've got a few reserve drivers, but definitely a very nice amount of drivers here today. 2 DNFs have already come into play, with the fastest driver, Glizzy, actually crashing out just after his flying lap. But still, people are yet to put a time in faster than his. Jacob just coming around the final corner of Ravazzi, dipping his right tyre to take the least amount of distance. What's he going to get? He's going to put it into 2nd place, but it's not quite enough to get past Glizzy. Okay, so this is also the return of K. Dot as well to league racing for us. That is. We've got both Ferrari drivers here today also. Okay, we'll head to a new driver. Okay, Lockheed, he's not had the best of times. He's definitely been held up somewhere on his previous lap. Oh, and he's gone off the track. He's not held anyone up by going off the track, but it's going to be difficult for him to realise if he should be carrying on with this lap, or is he going to abort. He's sliding about everywhere on those soft tyres. Can't get the grip, so we've got no times yet from Private Comet, Ace Silence and Spag Bob. They've still got to get a time on the boards. Also, Razek on his outlap, Jay Parsons on his outlap. So let's see what Lockheed can do this time round. He's had plenty of pole positions in the past. Last weekend did not go well for him whatsoever. Started 11th on the grid for Bahrain. Oh, and he's pitting, he's abandoned that lap. That's not going to be a finishing lap for him. Let's get a look at Razek now in the Red Bull. Razek managing to be one of those that finished last weekend's race after starting 3rd on the grid. Ace Silence seems to be having an issue with invalidating his lap. He's just got to get a time on the board and see what comes along with it at this point. But Glizzy, the DNF driver at the very start of qualifying, still holds his provisional pole position. This would be his first pole position if no one can beat him. But Tunatastic, our last week's race winner, down into 4th, Callum in 2nd. Oh, and Razek puts his car on 3rd place. Red Bull are in the top 3 drivers now. So let's get a look at EU Drip, who has invalidated his lap. He's not going to get a lap in this time round. He's going to have to go around again. Jay Parsons, he's going to come across the line any second now. What's it going to be for him? Is it going to be an improvement? Yes, it was. It was an improvement, and he gets above his teammate. Jay Parsons was 7/10 up on that lap, and it's put him up above his teammate. Private comment, A Sans and Spagbob still yet to set a time. TTV Adam is out of the session. He will automatically start at the back of the grid, assuming that the three that are yet to set times do set times. Oh, but that is Spagbob off. That is Spagbob. Spagbob. Oh my god. Spagbob off. And on his way into the Villeneuve chicane. So that is his flying lap compromised there. If those soft tyres are compromised. Oh, and K-Dot is out as well. I don't know if that was on track or not, actually. I don't think it is. So let's get a look at Razex, actually. As when he's invalidated that lap just as we switched on to him. Let's go back to Jacob there and see what he can do. Through the Variante Alta and on a weaving straight down to Ravazzi, final set of corners, and onto this start finish straight, taking the least amount of distance. He crosses the line, and that is nothing for Jacob. It doesn't improve enough to get past Razex. Razex goes into the pits. And Cypher gets up to 8th position with that lap time. And Callum starts his lap. Let's see where Grace can put the Aston Martin. A little bit screwy coming out of the final corner, and it's straight into the pits after that. Let's get a look at Ace Silence. Let's see if Ace Silence can finally get a lap time on the board. Spagbob finally does. It's not the greatest of times, but it's still something. So at this moment in time, that does put TTV Adam due to the back of the grid. If Private Comet can actually get a lap time set, Ace Silence finally gets through a lap without invalidating, and he goes fastest. A 1:14.877 puts him above Lizzie. That is your provisional pole sitter there. So let's see, what can Callum do about that? Just on his way out of Aqua Minerale as we get to him there and into the Variante Alta. Jacob has finished his qualifying as he enters the pits, and that is Callum abandoning that lap. I'm assuming that he's going to go for it again at the end of this one. And there he is, putting his foot down for his final opportunity for a lap here in Imola. Very impressive work to get that lap done first time round from Glizzy, currently on the front row. But is there going to be anyone that can stop him from getting this post DNF front row? Very nicely through Aqua Minerale down to the Variante Alta. Nice camera angle, watching the cars emerge over the hill. And he comes onto the start-finish straight, goes across the line. Can Callum improve? Oh, he improves, but it's nowhere near enough to get anywhere near Glizzy. But Private Comet gets to second. He's not only set a time, but the two drivers that were left after Spagbob had set his time have put themselves into a 1-2 position. There is not much time left whatsoever of qualifying. I can't quite see how long because there's a sector 2 in the way. That is it. That is qualifying over. A Silence can't do anything more to secure his pole position. EU Drip is out of the running. And let's see who is going to be next across the line. That is Tunatastic. Last week's race winner, last year's world champion, into Ravazzi. Doesn't really look like he's pushing. No, not from that camera angle. That's Private Comet on his in lap. Oh, but there is a car that looked like it was on. Oh, that is a car. That is Grace with the fastest sector 2. In the dying moments of this qualifying, could Grace pull out something special here into Ravazzi? Nicely through there, perfect amount of curb, not quite cutting the distance, but she gets 10th. She improves on the position, but it's not in quite into where she probably would have wished. And Callum into the pits. That is our end to qualifying, it seems. So a silence on pole position. Private Comet alongside him. Glizzy with one lap, the only lap he did at the very beginning of the race, then crashed on his in lap. Gets third place. Held that time for the entirety of the session. Clearly a very good lap time there. Private Comet only just getting that second place as well, must mention. And Callum just missing out on that third position. That one grid spot ahead that he could have got if he was just 0.003 of a second faster around this 4.9 kilometre circuit. Tunatastic, last week's race winner, in 5th place. Lockheed in 6th. Razek 7th. As we just wait for the drivers to get around. I don't know why I'm still on this screen, to be honest. There we go. Okay, so I was up to Lockheed in 6th place. Razek in 7th. Jacob in 8th. EU Drip 9th. K Dot on his return in 10th place. Has there been a someone stuck into the top 10 because I swear Grace was in top 10. Must have done. Okay, so Grace in 11th, Cypher in the Ferrari in 12th, and Jay Parsons behind him, his teammate, in 13th, Spagbob in 14th, and TCV Adam with no time in 14th. Okay, so that is your cars on the grid getting their practice starts done, and starting their formation lap. There is your pit stop strategy for those that are starting on the softs. It's soft, I think I said soft, mediums is likely to be the fastest strategy here on this sunny day in Emilia, as we await their cars return to the grid to start this 32 lap race. So just a quick look at the tyres. All cars starting on their qualifying tyres, obviously except from TTV Adam, as he didn't set a time. He's had free choice of the tyres that he wanted, and he has gone for the mediums. He's the only car to do so. Jacob and EU disqualified from the formation lap. And we just wait for our few back markers. Okay, let's get rid of that and that. And we'll watch Glizzy for the race start when it finally starts. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're watching Glizzy as we get the 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go in Imola. Ace Santa gets a brilliant start, Private Comet gets an equally good start, but the Avatari of Glizzy gets an amazing start off the line as well. Racing down in to the Tambra chicane, Private Comet holds his P2 position, and Tunatastic into 3rd position, and that is Lockheed falling down the order, and that is Glizzy, who's majorly fell down the order, starting in 3rd place, is now down to 15th. He's right at the back now. Tunatastic has made his moves up into P2. Private Comet dropped down into P3. Both AlphaTauris now running at the back of this race. Ice Silence, though, in the Haas is leading this race by a margin. Tunatastic in P2. Jacob is out already. Oh, and that is a looks to be nasty spinning Aqua Minerale for Jacob in the McLaren on his return to the league racing. He's crashed out, and it is a virtual safety car. The pace of the race is neutralised. All the cars have got to stay within their delta. If they don't, it's going to be a drive-through for them. Callum chooses the option to pit now. The time lost under a virtual safety car is a lot less than if you were to pit in a normal race. Goes for the hard. He's going to go for as long as possible on those. So he's hoping, quite possibly, that there isn't going to be another safety car, and he can make him way himself up the field. Actually, he could be wishing for another safety car if he's gone onto the hards. Just how long could he make those last Glizzy pits for the mediums? And we are green, we are racing once again. Oh, and it looks to be a spin, and is that Private Comet? who fell down the order. There was a bit of contact in Aqua Minerale. 3-second time penalty for Spag Bob for corner cutting. It's a lot of close racing at the front, but it's not quite close enough to get any overtakes done. Into Tamburello. Oh, and that is a Ferrari that just went off. Jay Parsons just flew over the Tamburello chicane, and it looks like he's fell to the back of that pack. Oh, getting a bit screwy in there was that was Private Comet. Jay Parsons made his way up one more place. K. Dot in the Williams, in the Alpine, sorry. Right behind Grace, who has made herself up into 4th place. That's a brilliant position to be in so far for points. At the early stages of the championship, it could go either way for anyone. But at the minute, it's swaying towards Tastic after his race win, and it looks like there's a little bit of likelihood of an overtake there. He's already got past Grace, but very, very close is K. Dot to the back of EU Drip in the Williams. Tastic and EU Drip reunited, and it feels so good. They are both racing together once again. EU Drip as a reserve driver, however. Tastic in the Williams in his full-time seat for this season. A 3-second time penalty for Tastic. That could come majorly into play by the end of the race. K-Dot gonna go for it into the Tamburello chicane. Can he get it done? Side by side. Oh, and there is contact on the rear wheel of the Williams. That has put K-Dot down by a good amount of time. Oh, but here is a good bit of racing. Lockheed and Private Comet. Oh, and there was nearly contact there into Tosa. TTV Adam on his debut up into 7th place after starting at the very back of the grid. So far, good performance from him. A Science, however, leading this race very nicely. Still got a long way to go, and I'm sure he knows that. Could Razex be getting something done? Getting something done here. Could he get himself that 7th place? It's not going to happen in the Tamburello chicane. Oh, and they're side by side. And who's going to come out front there? And it's going to be Razex. Glizzy gets a 3-second time penalty for extending track limits. Oh, and Lockheed is out. That is the exact same place where his teammate crashed out. And that is Lockheed out of the race. That is a safety car. Could this be a dream scenario for Callum? Quite possibly, if a good few amount of drivers decide to pit right in front of him. RaceX, Private Comet and Grace have decided to take the opportunity to pit. Jay Parsons gets a 3-second time penalty under the safety car for exceeding track limits, it seems. So this is going to switch around the order quite a bit. Especially with the fresh tyres, it's going to be a difficult one to calculate. Both AlphaTauris going for a double stack. Let's see. Oh, and Glizzy's moved way off before Spagbob gets to the pit box. Oh, and they're bloody messing him up, man. And Spagbob gets a new front wing. Clearly getting some damage. So this is going to be a good opportunity. And the front two drivers have decided to pit, the Haas and the Williams. Okay, and the safety car is finally moving. So it seems Cypher is the only driver that has chose not to pit. He must be feeling that those softs are perfectly fine, but it seems the other drivers opted for the hard tyre. So 13 drivers are remaining in this 32 lap race. 2 drivers to be lost so far. Both of the McLaren drivers are out. Egypt getting up alongside K-Dot under the safety car. But yeah, Cypher's still the only driver yet to pit. It's a difficult strategy to get your head around, but I'm sure he's got something in plan. Egypt is going to find it a nice restart being on the fresh softs. And up to temperature, those medium tyres will get away very nicely. Callum could have the disadvantage at the restart with 6-lap-old hard tyres. It's not going to be optimal for him. And the safety car is in this lap as the drivers come through very anti-alter, and the safety car is a nice distance ahead by the time the cars get to the braking zone of Rivazzi. A Silence now controls the pace of the field. He's got to choose a moment to go. He wants those tyres at a nice temperature. Tunatastic wants to be as close as possible. And Cypher's gone into the pits at the very end of the safety car, and away we are. He went very late there, slowed right down, and took a bit of a surprise to Tunatastic. 5/10 up already is a very nice lead after a safety car restart into the Tamburello chicane. The cars go very nicely clean through all of them, actually. Quite impressed. Oh, I'm actually very impressed with this. Not gonna lie. And K-Dot gets past Tunatastic. It's a bit difficult to keep up with battles when all the drivers are this close, but they are side by side. And there's a bit of a scrap going on just a little bit further down the field. A few drivers side by side. That looked to be Callum getting catching up on Private Comet there, and switching round positions. Is Owen is TCV Adam AI? Yes, he is. That is unfortunate. So K-Dot 2 seconds behind A Silence already. A Silence has been absolutely dominant in this race. Cypher has chosen for the fresh hard tyres, pitting just at the end of the safety car. That's a difficult strategy to get your head around, really. Oh, and here we see some position change. Ignore TTB Adam. Oh, and that is K-Dot. That was K-Dot off the track in the Alpine, just out of the Tamburello chicane. That is him down into the deep, far positions from the first place. And it's the two Williams now battling the Haas in the front of the field. Private Comet getting very close now to Jay Parsons. Could an overtake be imminent on this one? Tell you what's closer. Gracie's got some good racing going on here as she gets closer and closer to the back end of the Red Bull. Callum, a driver that is expecting wins this season. Oh, and that is Jay Parsons that is off. Looks like he's took a little bit of a tumble into the gravel at Rivazzi. It's going to do well for those medium tyres, fresh medium tyres. He's going to put a little bit of extra wear into them. The front of the field now getting a little bit separated, but we still have a very nice battle going on in this midfield. Look at all these cars nice and close together. Gives us some good racing, which is nice to know. The leading driver of that big pack is EU Drip. The prime contender for that position seems to be Private Comet as he goes to go side by side into Aqua Mineral. He can't quite get the position done there. Now as the cars dart down to very anti-alter, they were side by side, but and there was contact there, but it looks like his front wing of the Alpine is still nicely intact. He looks down the inside in going into Rivazza. Private Comet could have something good here. Going into the Tamburello chicane, he's side by side just before they get there. Oh, and there was contact. There was a little bit of barging going on there, and they are still very close together. Going now towards the Villeneuve chicane. Can he get it done? He's got the inside. Oh, and that was contact. I don't know whether it's me lagging or them lagging, but I can't believe that's not broken anything on the front wing. But Private Comet's got that position done. Into Piratella now. I'm not sure what to think about that one, but it looks like TCV Adam is spun. His AI is spun. Good job from him. EU Drip still holding the position. Look at how close all these cars are. It's amazing. The Red Bulls have put themselves into contention for the position now. Both Red Bulls are right up there and ready to take that position. Private Comet's got it. Going into Rivazzi and going down the main straight. I believe that they are going to have DRS. DRS is available and it's open. There's a little bit of DRS training. The only person that won't have that is Private Comet. He's alright, he's running in third, but EU Drip side by side into Tamburello. What's going to happen there? Oh, and Private Comet just manages to keep it on the track, keep it off the sausage curbs. But now side by side with Razex. Oh, and that is Razex spun off at the Villeneuve chicane. He's not going to be happy with that. He was right up there in that fight with Private Comet, ready to get past him into fourth and possibly take the third place position. And now he's scrambling himself to get past Jay Parsons and even Glizzy down in ninth place. But Private Comet and EU Drip having a nice scrap here, keeping it. Hopefully they can keep it clean. Just about in the very anti-alter chicane. Private Comet has got the position now into third place, but he's taking it at a terrible time because now EU Drip and Callum are going to have DRS all the way down the start-finish straight. This is a good battle here. EU Drip absolutely flies past the Alpine of Private Comet into Tamburello now. What's going to happen there? It's going to keep it nice and clean. Grace trying to put herself into the action on this race. Private Comet's looking for a way round the outside. He's going to go. Oh, and I'm not sure why the cars keep ghosting, to be honest. Okay, so EU Drip. Oh, and a 3-second time penalty for Spag Bob. Spag Bob running down in 12th place. We can ignore TTV Adam. He's not going to be classed in the finishing of the race. Okay, so EU Drip's got that much desired position right now, the one that all of these drivers are fighting for. Oh, and Callum has just come along and he's taking it all from them. Into the Rivazzi, the final corner. Callum has just absolutely flown past them all and taken that much wanted position. They're going to have the DRS this time round. So is Grace. She is also going to have DRS. What's going to happen here? EU Drip, it gets past Callum. Private Comet gets past Callum. Any overtakes down in Tamburello? No. As they dart themselves down to Villeneuve chicane, always get a bit laggy around this part of the track for some reason. Sharp braking from all the drivers, nicely placed themselves on the curbs. Quite clean currently, this battle. But Private Comet very close now to the rear side of the Williams. Round Piratella into Aqua Minerale. Is Private Comet going to give himself the speed that he needs down towards the Variante Alta? Not quite, he's not going to get it done there, and he's not going to go for anything. Oh, 3 wide, and that is Private Comet and Grace, who have just had a collision on the way down to Ravazzi. So they are still both in the race, but Private Comet is going to pit, and so is Grace. But still side by side is Callum and EU fighting for 3rd place. Oh, and no, that is Callum. Callum is spun on the exit of Tamburello. And that is him out of the race. That is EU Drip allowed to fly into the distance. And that is a safety car, so he's not going to be in the far distance for much longer. But that is Callum on the exit of Tamburello. He is out of this race. His chances of points this weekend are done. It's going to be a DNF for Callum. So after that brilliant battle for 3rd place, but you can't shine away from this man. Ace Silence in an absolutely dominant position during this race. So from pole position to leading the race, I believe he's not even lost that position one time. Ace Silence is on a very good run with no penalties also. So let's get a quick update on the penalties. Spike Bob, 15 seconds of time penalties. Tunatastic 3 seconds, EU Drip 3 seconds, J Parsons 3 seconds, Grace 3 seconds, Glizzy 6 seconds, Cypher 3 seconds, and oh, and that is, who was that? That was Spike Bob spinning under the safety car. Done a bit of a George Russell there, haven't you? He's just spun. That is Aqua Minerale. We're getting a lot of cars spinning out just at the end of Aqua Minerale. So, oh, and that is him going over the Variante Alta also. I believe safety car will be in next lap. Oh, and Spagbob's off again. I might think that Spagbob's going to need new tyres. Yep, it's like he can hear me. Wise man to get yourself some new tyres, Spagbob. Oh, and Glizzy's out. Not too sure where, but I think he might have just given up on that. Spag Bob's got himself a bit of a distance. To make up on. I believe safety car will be in this lap. Oh, that is a spin at the back. Oh, and that is a lot of safety car penalties. Oh my god. That was Razex taking a spin. Spag Bob also in the distance taking a spin. That is Razex down to the very back. Oh, that is Private Comet! Oh no. So let's try and quickly get to Spag Bob actually. Let's see what's happened here, because I just heard the crunch. Yep, down towards Ravazza there's been a big incident under safety car. But no matter what, we are going to go back to racing. A Silence gets a brilliant safety car restart once again. Tunatastic right behind him. Egypt falls down due to Parsons getting past. Parsons into second now. Parsons has had a brilliant safety car restart into second place now. Grace also had a brilliant safety car restart. Private Comet though out of the race. That is gutting for him. I was hoping he would get a good position on my bet. So Jay Parsons, brilliant safety car restart. A Silence, once again, a brilliant safety car restart. However, he has got 5-second time penalty. I'm not sure due to. Whether it'll be removed, I don't know. Oh, and that is Jay Parsons! Jay Parsons taking a spin and hitting Tunatastic. Tunatastic now down towards the back of the order. That's dreadful for Tunatastic. But EU Drip now into second place. A Silence still pulling away with a brilliant lead. There's a quick look at the tyres. Spag Bob on fresh medium tyres. A few drivers on a couple lap old tyres. Razex sticking with the tyres from the previous safety car. And that Spag Bob out. That was due to happen anyway, wasn't it? He wasn't going to catch up, but he could have still scored points. So unfortunately, he's decided to save his time. So race into P3. Brilliant performance from Grace so far. Tunatastic going to have to make his way up the order now from P6 on those 3-lap old softs as we reach the 10-lap to go mark of this race. Grace actually gets quite close now to the rear of the Williams of EU Drip, the leading Williams this race. Last week's race winner Tunatastic down in 6th place. Oh, and that is Grace past. Just pure speed there with that Aston Martin into second place. Oh, in Egypt, I was looking at a computer and Grace has fell down to fourth place. Egypt takes back second place. K. Dot in the remaining Alpine in third. Both Ferraris still doing very well to keep both cars in the race also. They silenced the lone Haas driver, however he doesn't need another Haas driver tonight because he is winning this race by a brilliant margin. He's, after the safety car restart, he's already 10 seconds up. Grace falling to the hands of Tunatastic. Oh, and that is Tunatastic in the wall. That is Grace also round. So I'm wondering what's happened there out of the Variante Alta chicane. Whether it's been a collision between two drivers or just a simultaneous spin. Oh, and that is a Red Bull. That is Razek's taking another spin. It might be time for you to get yourself some new tyres, Razek's. It's still going to be points for Red Bull, but it's not going to be a brilliant amount of points. So I believe this might be the only on-track battle right now. K. Dot and E. Drip fighting for second place. That is K. Dot past E. Drip, but he's got to make up some time to get out the DRS, but it's not going to happen. E. Drip's going to have DRS. It seems that he might have just let him through to give himself the DRS in that case, in every case pretty much, to be honest. He seems to be doing that. Yep, and that is E. Drip back into second place. Cypher running a very good race in fourth place, and Tunatastic obviously not showing what he can do down in fifth place after a couple spins in these late stages of the race as we get to 6 laps remaining. And K Dot goes into the pits and lets E Drip go. So the next car near E Drip is Cypher, 1.2 seconds behind. There's not very many ongoing battles except from the battle with these drivers to combat the weather. It started raining here in Imola, and K-Dot is the first driver to feel that it's necessary to go onto the intermediates. A Silence could be making himself enough time to get a pit window, give himself enough time to pit and get his car ahead. But Racex is the next driver. Sorry, is the next driver to get himself onto the intermediates. That is A Silence. A Silence is pitting. And it will be for the intermediates at this stage of weather. Let's see if Egypt's going to also make that change. He's got to, surely. Yep, that is Egypt into the pits. It seems that most drivers are going to be taking a pit stop right now. I think A Silence might have saved his 5-second time penalty. Oh, and as I say, that Cypher gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So does Grace. There's Egypt. Pulls into his pit box. A Silence is leaving the pits altogether. Let's see if Jay Parsons is going to pit also. Yep, this race has turned into a fully intermediate race. There's not been very many position changes apart from K-Dot making himself back up to P3 after taking the call, the first person to enter the pits to change onto the intermediate tyres. He's also now right behind the Drip, so let's see how this is going to go for him this time round. See if he can get the position done with a bit earlier in the lap. Or is Egypt going to grab a DRS again? Into Aqua Minerale, keeping the cars together in this weather is difficult anyway, but through Aqua Minerale, where cars have been spinning all race or qualifying, even in dry conditions, it's going to be more of a challenge for the drivers today on this race. But let's see if Egypt's he's finally going to hold a position. And K-Dot is going to have DRS. Oh, actually, DRS is disabled. Didn't think of that. And that is going to be a bit of an issue. Yep, DRS disabled. That is going to be a bit of an issue for K-Dot to get past. But is he going to go for it? No, he's a little bit too far away. Going down into the Tambor chicane. 4/10 out between the two drivers now. Oh, and the E-Drip just went a bit off the track. That is K-Dot into second place. Into the Villeneuve chicane. There you go. And K-Dot has got that position done after E-Drip dipped his right side tyres onto the gravel. And that has lost him a bit of time and, more crucially, that position that he so cruelly wanted. With just a few laps to go, no DRS. Could K-Dot be able to secure himself this podium? I don't believe that K-Dot has scored a podium before. I'll have a look. No, his best finish is 4th place. This would be his best finish if he were to finish in this place. But at the minute, it's looking quite likely that he can hold him off through this lap also. with 8 tenths in between them. Emilia isn't the best track to overtake mid around some sections of the lap. There's not very many overtaking opportunities. However, Cypher, is that Cypher? Yeah, Cypher could be putting himself into play here also as he begins to gain time on EU Drip. Cypher on his debut race. I believe this is his debut race, actually. Just double check that real quick because I don't want to say it and it's not. Yep, this is Cypher's debut race, so this would be his best finishing position. It's not a bad finishing position to get on your first race. K-Dot still holding the position, and he's a good amount of time ahead to feel like he might have secured this lap, this podium, and this best finish position for him. Grace running down in 5th, still good points for Aston Martin. They didn't even score any points last weekend, so they're going to be looking for something this time round on Grace's return to league racing. Excuse me. You cannot shy away though from Ace Silence. Brilliant racing from Ace Silence. He's held this race in his hands the entire time, and it's not been given away. I don't think he's even lost the position, pole position, to leading the lap of every race, and well, it seems to be going on to win. I believe that is a Grand Slam for a Silence this weekend. I'm wondering if that might be the first Grand Slam that we've had in this league. So after finishing second last weekend, and first this weekend, Ace Silence will take the championship lead. It seems to be something with that Haas, it just seems a bit too quick. Last year's Constructors winners were Haas, the Drivers' Championship was won in a Haas. And this time round it's winning again. On the final lap now, we will follow our final lap with a Silence. If any position changes start to get anywhere nearer, we will jump to that, but for now, for the final time, for a Silence into the very anti-altar. Oh, and Cypher's very close now to EU Drip, but we are going to jump right back to Ace Silence as he gets round the final corner of Rivazza onto the start-finish straight. He does a little excitement jiggle and he wins in Imola. Ace Silence, with an absolutely dominant performance, has won in Imola. Brilliant performance, brilliant performance from him. K-Dot, with 0 penalties to his name, crosses to finish in his best position of his league career, and a 5-second time penalty for Cypher for having an unserved time penalty, and another one for Grace. So that is EU Drip in 3rd, Tunatastic 4th. That is going to be Ace Silence leading the championship. I'll get the numbers drawn up and posted to Instagram by the end of the night, with obviously on provisionary roll, as we've got some stuff to sort out in the league with saved car penalties. There's your driver of the day, K-Dot. Brilliant return for him to this league racing. Brilliant return. And that is K-Dot and EU Drip alongside him on the podium. And that is your finishing order. That is A Silent, K-Dot, EU Drip, Tunetastic, Cypher, Grace, J Parsons, RazeX are your finishing cars. So we had 8 finishes this time round. A good few starters, but not very many finishers in the end. But at least we got some. I'll get the race director very quickly for Lockheed doing the incident submission, as we had a good few safety car incidents, so I'm going to make sure that I get this for him. Oh, I wasn't aware that K-Dot got a drive-through penalty. I did not realise that. Okay, we're only halfway through this right now, so I'm going to go a little bit faster. Oh my god, guys, this is... Okay. And there's that. So that is round 2 of this MRA season. A Silence leads the World Championship. I'll have to do the math on who's leading constructors, but I believe it will be Williams. Next race, we are in La Cassalette in France. Boring Grand Prix in real life. Let's see if we can make it worth watching in MRA. So, I hope you enjoyed that race. That was brilliant qualifying to watch, definitely. I really enjoyed that qualifying from my view. A few controversial happenings in the race, with some overtakes, some collisions, etc. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next week at 7:30 for the French Grand Prix.